Good morning, students. Am I audible? Okay, so last class we have already started turbine chapter. We will continue with that same chapter today. Okay, in this part we have already discussed. Okay, this numerical is also we have solved in the last class. Okay, so you can write it down this numerical. Okay, or you can write it down this numerical and you can solve at home. Okay, this is very much similar to what we have already discussed. Similar to the first numerical. Okay, you just write it down that numerical, then we move on to our next topic. A jet of water of dia 75 mm is given. Okay, diameter of the jet moving with a velocity of 30 meter per second strikes a curve fixed unsymmetric. Okay, here is given unsymmetric. Okay, unsymmetric plate at tangentially one end at an angle of 30 to the horizontal. At tangentially one end at angle of 30 degree to the horizontal. The jet leaves the plate at an angle of 20 degree to the horizontal. Find f of x and f of y. Okay, we will solve this numerical. Okay, this is little bit different from the first one. Okay, so first you write it down the question. Over. Yes. Okay. So we move on to the solution. And it says it's a curved and unsymmetric plate. Okay, so it strikes tangentially at one end, which makes an angle 30 degree to the horizontal. Okay, 30 degree to the horizontal. That is theta. Theta is equal to 30 degree. It's given. Okay, as this is the component of velocity, we have to resolve into two component because it is an angle we have. Okay, so we have to resolve into two component. One is horizontal and one is vertical. If this is your v, then this will be your v sine theta. Theta is nothing but your 30 degree. Similarly, this will be your v cos 30, 30 degree. Okay, so it strikes here, and what it says, it goes out, it goes out, making an angle of phi. As this is unsymmetric, these two angle will be different. Okay, if this is your x-axis, so if you resolve this thing and this line, one will be your 30 degree, one will be your 20 degree, and this thing is given in the question. Okay, so it goes out with an angle of 20 degree with the horizontal. So Again, if this is the velocity, we have to resolve into two components. One is x component and one is in y component. So this will be cos 20 and this will be v sine 20 degree. Okay, very simple. We consider this velocity component and this velocity will be same, neglecting the friction loss. Okay, definitely whatever the velocity enters, velocity component enters, it won't be same at when it goes out. Okay, there will be reduction in velocity because of the friction loss due to friction. Okay, but we are neglected that loss. Okay, and we have considered that this velocity and this velocity component is same. Okay, so our aim is to find out f of x and f of y. That is rate of change of momentum in x direction, rate of change of momentum in y direction. Okay, so now apart from this, the diameter of the jet is also given, that is 75 mm. Okay, and velocity component is given 30 meter per second. Okay, and what it says that this plate is fixed. Okay, that means the plate is not moving. Okay, so okay, now we have to find out f of x, that is force exerted in x direction. So I think these equations we have already derived. Okay, so for f of x, if you remember, for f of x is equal to rho a v. Okay, then we have to consider, yeah, x component, that is v cos 30 degree. Okay, minus, it is in opposite direction. F of x is rho a v. Then here we have v cos 30 degree at inlet. Okay, minus, and then it is in opposite direction. As this we have considered positive, so it will be negative. E cos 20 degree. Okay, very simple. This is minus minus, it will be positive. And if you bring it out, that v, if you take in common v, so it will be v square. Okay, so here it will be cos 30 degree minus cos, sorry, plus, it will be addition cos 20 degree. Okay, you can directly write like this also. Okay, by skipping one step. Okay, so what is f of x? That rho a v square cos 30 plus cos 20. Okay, so density we have taken 1000. A, small a is the area, so pi by 4 d square. Okay, pi by 4 d square. Then velocity component is already given, that is 30, so 30 square cos 30 plus cos 20 degree. Okay, and you will get the value almost 7179.68 Newton. You are getting the same value. Similarly, you have to find f of y also. Again, rho a v. Then we have to take x component. Okay. So here it is v sine theta, v sine 30 degree minus. So it is in same direction, v sine 20. Okay. So you can write it down, rho a v square sine 30 sine 30 minus sine 20 degree. Okay. So density is same 1000. Area again pi by 4 d square. The value of d is already given 0.075 square, because the value is given in mm, you have to convert into meter. Okay. Velocity component is also given, that is 30 square, and then sine 30 minus sine 20 degree. Okay. You will find the value near about 6 to 8.14 Newton. Over. Okay. So this case is valid when our plate, or you can say vane, is fixed. It's not moving. Okay. When it strikes tangentially at one end and the plate is fixed. Okay. Now we will discuss when when it strikes at one end and at the same time the vane is also moving at that time, how we have to calculate the f of x and f of y. Okay. And that concept is called velocity triangle, because it forms a triangle at both the end, at inlet as well as at outlet. Okay. So first we discuss at the inlet. Okay. Suppose this is the vane and the jet of water strikes at one end. Okay. This is called V1. Okay. As soon as it strikes the plate, as soon as it strikes the plate is also moving with a velocity. Okay. As soon as the jet of water strikes the plate at one end, the plate is also start moving. Okay. So it strikes at an angle of alpha. Okay. Then at the same time, as soon as it strikes, our plate is also moving at a velocity. Okay. Then we always know when the plate is moving, your resultant velocity component will be different. That means your resultant will be your, if V component is strikes here and the U is your velocity of the vane, then your resultant component is V minus U, that we have already discussed. In place of when it strikes in the middle and the curve is also moving, if you remember, okay, we have already discussed this thing, okay. So here also, this is a velocity component, but ultimately the resultant component is different, okay. That is your VR1, that is resultant. Why we are putting one? That is because it's in inlet, okay. When it goes out, this component will be changed here with number 2, okay. Okay. So first V1 is the velocity component which strikes the vane, and the vane is also moving at the velocity of u1, okay. If velocity component strikes the vane at an angle of alpha, as soon as it strikes, the vane is also moving with the velocity of u1, and we got the resultant velocity, that is your vr1, okay. Then we draw a straight line, that is your 90-degree, which connects your x-axis, okay, which connects your x-axis, okay. So now this component, this is your v1, till here it's u1, and this whole component is called vw1, okay. So this component is vw1, and this we have termed as vf1, okay. This whole component from here to here we have denoted as vw1, and this component this component we have termed as vf1, okay. Why we need these two components? To find out other components, because we will use here our right angle triangle concept, okay. If we have an angle, if we know this component, with the help of this cos theta, sin theta, or tan theta, we can find out other components also, okay. So we have termed this vertical component as vf1, and this whole component from here to here we have considered vw1, okay. So this is your inlet, okay. So after, so that is your inlet velocity triangle. Then when it goes out, okay. So here ultimately V1 it strikes, and then we have a resultant. So VR1 is goes inside, okay. That resultant velocity component, okay. Then what will be come out? That is your VR2, okay. If we consider losses, then this velocity component and this velocity component will be different. That's why we have termed it VR2, okay. So initially that velocity component is V1, as as soon as it strikes, as the vein is also moving, the resultant component is get inside the vein. Okay, that is our VR1. So when it resultant component is going inside, so it will be come out with the resultant only with a VR2 if we consider the losses. If we neglect the losses, then VR1 and VR2 will be same. Okay. Then if we consider again the velocity of the vein, then that component gives us resultant component. Okay. Sorry, true component, that is your V2. Okay. Here we have V1. We consider the velocity of the vein. We have the resultant velocity going inside the vein. Okay. So once the velocity, resultant velocity going inside, so our resultant velocity will come out. That is VR2. Okay. Again, if you consider your vein velocity, then we will get a component of V2. That is your true velocity component at outlet. Okay. Then you resolve again, okay, at 90 degree. Okay. So this will be VF2 and this component is VW2. Okay. So in this is your phi. In inlet, we have considered alpha and theta. Okay. So here you can phi and beta you can consider. Okay. These things depends on you. You can consider other also, other term also, it depends on you. Okay. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to consider phi only for this angle. But this angle, these two angle and the angle at the inlet are different. Okay. So you have to give different symbol for its angle. Okay. So here we have considered phi and beta. Okay. You can consider different notation also. It's up to you. Okay. So this is called the velocity triangle concept. This is called outlet velocity triangle, and whatever we have discussed previously, that is called inlet velocity triangle. Okay. So we solve one or two numericals related to this velocity triangle. Okay. Okay. So you write down this numerical. You write down this numerical. A jet of water with velocity 30 meter per second strikes a curved vein which moves with a velocity of 15 meter per second. What it says, it, as soon as the jet strikes the vein is also moving at a velocity of 15 meter per second. Okay, so that jet velocity is 30 meter per second and curve is moving at a velocity of 15 meter per second. So again, what is given? The jet makes an angle of 30 degree with the direction of motion of the vein at inlet. Okay, and leaves the vein at 90 degree at outlet with the direction of the vein. Okay, direction of the vein, if you consider this is your vein, If vane is moving in this direction, so the jet makes an angle. So whenever the jet strikes at one end, it makes an angle 30 degree in the direction of the jet. Okay, that is x-axis. Okay, first you write down the question. Whenever you have a numerical in such kind, first try to draw a diagram. Okay, so here what it says in the question, we have a velocity component v1 strikes the curved vane, then we have to consider the velocity of vane. Okay, okay, then we will be having result vr1. Okay. So here that velocity component v1 is given 30 meter per second. Okay, e1 is also given is 15 meter per second. Okay, and what it says, that velocity component v1 strikes the vane at an angle of 30 degree in the direction of vane. So when vane is moving, it will be moving in x direction. X direction. Okay, so it makes an angle with this x direction. So this angle is also given 30 degree alpha. Okay, so then we draw one perpendicular line here. This will be 90 degree. Okay, and this angle we consider as theta. So if you broadly draw, this will be your v1, this will be your u1, this will be your resultant. Okay, vr1. Okay, this is your alpha is equal to 30 degree. This is alpha is your 30 degree. Okay, so this we have drawn one perpendicular line. So this whole thing is will be your vw1. Okay, vw1. This is u1. So this v1 is given 30 meter per second. U1 is also given 15 meter per second. Alpha is given 30 degree. VR1 is not given. Okay. And VW1 is also not given. This is your VF1. This angle we consider theta. This will be your inlet triangle for that given question. Okay. Only that V1 component is given. U1 component is also given. Alpha is also given. Okay. Theta is not given and other components are also not known to us. Okay. So we move on to the outlet velocity triangle. Okay. Now inlet triangle is okay done. Again, our resultant is getting inside the vein. So what will be come out? Our resultant, that is VR2. Okay. Then we consider the velocity of the vein, that is U2. Okay. Then what it says, if you see in this here, that the velocity component V1 get enters into the curve vein and come out the vein at an angle of 90 degree at outlet. Okay. Whatever this value is given, this is for the true velocity, not for the resultant. Okay. That is your V component, not VR1. Okay. So because of that moving of the vein, we have a resultant velocity getting inside the curved vein. Okay. So whatever the question is given, this is for the true velocity. So what is said? It gives a 90 degree. That means we have this is phi. Okay. I have taken phi. It's up to you. Okay. You can take other notation also. Phi is not given. Then one is beta. Beta is given 90 degree. Okay. So when beta will be 90 degree, when we draw a perpendicular line. Okay. So this is 90 degree. So in this case, your VW2 will be 0. Okay. Because what is VW2? VW2, if you move on to the first thing, VW2 is the component. We have VR1, then this is, sorry, okay. So this is VR1, okay. This is V2, this is U2, and this is your VW2, okay. Then this is your 90 degree EF2, okay. This is your outlet velocity triangle. So this is your phi, this is okay, this is phi, and this angle is beta, okay. Here what it says that the velocity component V2 makes an angle of 90 degree. So when beta will be 90 degree, we need coincide with this line. Okay, because we have to see this angle is 90 degree. When it comes here, this angle is 90 degree. Okay, that means when beta is 90 degree, your V2 component and VF2 component coincide. Okay, and then VW1 is your component between your V2 and VF2. Okay. So if the component is coincide, then your VW2 will be your 0. We don't have any component in between V2 and VF2 because both the components are coincide to each other. Okay. So VW2 will be your 0. This component will be 0 if beta is 90 degree. Okay. So here also in this questions is given beta is equal to 90 degree. That is why your V2 component is coincide with VF2. Okay. And VW2 is 0. And VW2 is 0. Now, now we move on to this solution. Okay. Our diagram is set. Okay. Diagram is set. Now we will move on to the what is given in the question. Direction of the wind. Determine angles at inlet and outlet. So whatever the angles we have to determine all the angles at inlet and outlet. That means at inlet we have alpha. This is already given, so we don't have to find 30 degree. Theta is there. This we need to calculate. In inlet, in outlet we have beta. Beta is already given 90 degree, and we have phi. So phi we don't have, we need to determine. So our aim is to determine the theta and phi. Okay. Okay. So V1 is given 30 meter per second. We have considered both U1 and U2 is same. That velocity of the vane we have considered constant, that is 15 meter per second. Okay. Alpha is given 30 degree, beta is given 90 degree. Okay. Now we need to find out the angle theta. This is 90 degree. This is theta. This is 30 degree alpha. This is V1. Here it is U1. This is VR1. Okay. And this whole thing is VW1, because that VW1 component is from true velocity to the VF1. Okay. Okay. So from here to here it's U1. Okay. Now we need to find out theta. Okay. So what we do first, we will take a bigger triangle ABC. So it's up to you how you solve. So here velocity component is given. Okay. Now we take the bigger triangle. This is your 30 degree. 30 degree. This component is V1. Okay. This is VW1 and this is VF1. Okay. So we have to use sine cos 10 condition. Okay. Here. So if you take sine theta, that is your sine 30 degree perpendicular by hypotenuse. Okay. That is VF1 sine 30 degree by V1. Okay. So you can find out from here V1 is already given. Okay. Here V1 we already know, that is 30 meter per second. Okay. Sine 30 degree also it's known. So you can find out VF1. VF1 from here. Okay. Then again, if you can find out this term VF1, then you can take cos theta and you can find out VW1. Very simple. Okay. Then you can find out VW1. Okay. Then you take this smaller triangle, this triangle. Then you take this smaller triangle. Okay. Here, when you take this smaller triangle, VF1 component is there. It's known to you. Okay. And this component you need, this component. So this component is nothing but your VW1 which you are going to calculate here, minus u1, we will get this part. Okay, you will get this part. Okay, so you take tan theta perpendicular by base. You take tan theta perpendicular by base, and you can find out the angle. First, you take bigger triangle, that is your alpha angle is there, VF1 is there, VW1 is there, and V1 is there. Okay, so in this triangle, see A, B, C, in this triangle, your this component is known. Okay, this angle is known. So we all know in a right angle triangle, if one component and one triangle is known, we can find out the other two components. Okay, by taking sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta concept. Okay, basic mathematics. Okay, if we know in a triangle one side and one angle, we can find out the other two side. Okay, so after that, what we have to do, you have to take the smaller triangle. Okay, that is, this is your 90-degree. We have V1 component, that is, we have already calculated. Here we have VR1, that is not known to you. This angle is theta, and this component, say about x. Okay, we consider it x. X is nothing but your VW1 minus U1. Okay, so this is known to you. This component is also known. This is also known. So in a triangle, right angle triangle, if two of the sides is known, you can easily find out the angle. Okay, I think this you have to take tan theta. Tan theta is perpendicular by base, PH. Perpendicular by base. So perpendicular base means VF1 divided by this x component. Okay, and both the component is known to you, so you can find out this theta. Okay, so one part of the equation is done, that we have already calculated one angle, that is theta. Now similarly, you find out the other angle, that is phi. That's why I'm saying once you draw the triangle, it's very easy to solve. Only simple mathematics. Okay. Once you draw the both the velocity triangle, once you draw the diagram, it's very simple to calculate. Only we have to use simple mathematics. That is your sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. You can find out other components also. Sometimes it angles also. Okay. So similarly, you can find out the other angle also. Means here u2 component we can consider this is same as u1, so it's known. Okay, then we have considered that vr1 is equal to vr2. The resultant, both the resultant is same. We have not considered any losses. Okay, we have neglected the losses. Okay, so vr1 you have to calculate, because here in this triangle all the components are known, including the angle. So you can easily find out the VR1 component here. Okay. If you see in this triangle, theta also you are going to calculate. Theta is also known to you. VF1 is also known. This X component is also known. So you can easily find out the VR1 component. So this VR1 we will consider as VR2 same. Okay. So here in this triangle, this is your 90-degree. So this component is known. This is also known, so you can easily find out the phi angle. Okay. So this meeting is going to end. Okay. So kindly join after 5 minutes with the same link. Okay.